this is differentiation and integration together, simplifying solutions. And 6, so we're dealing with chapter 6 on on N6. So here we have to simplify these questions, how to go about it, how to simplify, and how to understand it when you come across the question. It's not exercise, it's just to simplify those exercises, following exercises. It's not let's get started. So here we're dealing with arc length, and step 1. So when we are given an equation, let's take we are given y the steps that you have to follow. Step number 1, when you're given a single, you have to derive. So we'll say dy dx. You derive step number 1. And surface area, so those steps are the same for arc length and surface area. And step number 2, you square this one, your derivative, you square it after you. Step number 3, you add 1. So you are looking at the formula. Let me write the arc length one. We have to complete this formula. Let me say AB like if we have one equation, or when you have a parametric equation, you will use another formula. Starting with the dx. This is for arc length when you have one equation. And then when you have 2, it can be theta. Yeah, so step number 3, you will do this. Step number 4, you'll put a square root. We are dealing with the first one now. And then step number 5, then the other step, you'll just put the integral, the d of x, and then that's it. It's let's try examples. So like here, if you are given something, like you'll start by deriving this dy dx of this one. This is step 1. And then you have 1, and then you'll take, this is step number 2, you square it, you square your 1. Step number 3, you add 1, so you do this. So remember, we have to simplify it before you put it here. Sometimes it gets confusing. So we'll see on the next exercise, this on other videos. You simplify it before you put it. You put it here and then you simplify it, so to make it easy for you to integrate. Sometimes you get confused when you get to the integration part. When you didn't put you didn't simplify it, it becomes more difficult. So every time you go to the next step, just simplify everything and then put it like that. So if you can check the other videos, you will see that they are simplified before the next step. So the tip you have to do, just simplify each and every step. Simplify that you'll be able to solve it on the next step. So like here we have 1, you just add the 1 and the 2. 1 and 1 will give you 2. You simplify every step, that will make it easy for you. So like here, I've simplified it 2. So if you can leave it like this, the next step will be a problem. There become problem on this topic, like the surface area one. You'll find that you'll think that it's difficult to solve it if you didn't simplify from the previous step. So if you can simplify it from the previous step, simplify it before you get to the next step, and then you'll take the simplified answer and put it here. So now we are putting the square root part. So now we'll take the answer because it's the same thing. How do we get it? So I'll put the 2. So you know that the square root of 2, if it was 4, it will be simple. You will just write 2. So now here you have square root of 2. So now we have to put the equation part. So here they didn't give us, so they didn't give us the limit. So because we just guessed this equation, we can name any number. So if you know the graph, it's like this. You also have to know the nature of the graph when you deal with this 11 and 6. So here you can pick any number. Let's say it's 5. Our limit is 5. This can be A and B. So this is the graph. So we can just say 0 and 5, but sometimes it's given. Okay, now we can put this thing according to this equation. You put the value that you got it. So you will put the square root of 2 and put your dx, and then when you integrate it, so that's why they say it's a differentiation and integration together. So you start with differentiation and then you integrate later. So this is how you'll be simplifying this one. So integrating this one will have something like square root of 2x, and then your point is 0 and 5. Put 5 on the first one, the second one it will be 0. So you have to substitute for both. This one is this one, and this one is the here. So yeah. Cos is a length unit. So this is how you will follow the steps. So for surface area, if we're calculating the surface area, okay, let's start with surface area equation for a single. Let's explain some of surface area. It's like this. I can just take the steps are the same. So here is another thing for surface area. Let me see. If they say it rotated about the x-axis, so it will be ax, and then you will put the equation for y. Yeah, like you put the value of y here. Like the value of y is x. Remember, everything must be in terms of x before you integrate. You must not put y here. So you'll put the value of y here, which is we'll put x here. So if they say it rotated about there, y-axis is ay, and then the equation will change. It will be like this. It's y here. So you'll make y-x the subject of the formula and put the value. The values. So you must follow these steps when you're dealing with this. In the step number 1, you derive. The next step, you square, and the next number 3, you add 1. If you are dealing with single equations with one equation. So the other one, when you deal with the 2, it's another story. We'll discuss it soon now. So when it rotated about the y-axis, you will put the value of we'll make x the subject of the formula. You put the values, the equation here. So you must make sure like everything here is in terms of y, because there's dy here. This tells us that the limits and the values here, the variables, must be in terms of y before you integrate. So I'll explain that. Like here, let's take this one. So this is how you go step by step substituting these values. So as you can see here, we have changed the value of y and then we substituted with the x, because y here it's equals to x. So we'll put x instead of y because they say it's rotated about the x-axis, and we have to put the values, the equation of y here, so that everything will be in terms of x. You see x, and then you integrate it like this. So you simplify it and go step by step, deleting the other things, and then this is the how you go and a step. So let's check the other step on the next videos. So thanks for watching. So for more videos like this, you can visit to this YouTube channel for more videos. If you like it, subscribe, share to others, like, and see you on the next video.